For today's art lesson, we are going to do a watercolor resist activity that is out of this world. Follow along with me as we create this astronaut, spaceship, planets, and stars. You're going to need a white piece of paper, a pencil, Sharpie, crayons for that, wax, resist, and watercolor paint with a cup of water and brushes. Get your materials and let's get started. To begin this lesson, we want to divide our paper into 4 sections. So please take your white vertical paper and fold it in half top to bottom and open it back up. Then you're going to fold it vertical side to side. This should create a nice T or plus sign on your paper. In the top left here, we are going to make our astronaut. We're going to begin with a nice large oval, and we want our oval to at least be 2 or 3 fingers wide so that we can fit our head in there. So let's begin by just making 2 dashes along the outside of our 3 fingers and turning that in to a nice round oval for our astronaut's head. Underneath the astronaut's head, he has a skinny rectangle, and he's going to have a round body. The round body is going to kind of follow the same width as his head, but it's going to be kind of more circular and long. From here, we're going to go out and we're going to add 2 lines for his arms, and they're about as wide as my pinky, and repeat for his legs. I'm going to add some curved detail to it just to show some texture in his spacesuit. So if you're following along with me in the measurements, I did about 3 curves on each arm and each leg. Now to close off his leg, and I'm just going to add a straight line and make kind of like a rounded boot. For his hand, I'm going to close that off, and I'm going to add a thumb and 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Repeating on the other side, a thumb and 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. And let's give him some detail on his helmet. So he has 2 round ovals. It's going to curve for the top of his head, curve for the bottom of his head, straight and straight. So this is kind of his helmet's shield for your boy or female astronaut to look out of. We're going to add a square, and you could make a star, or I'm going to write USA, so everyone knows that I'm from the United States of America on my astronaut. Awesome. Down diagonal in the bottom is going to be my spaceship. My spaceship is going to be a pointed oval, so a curve and a curve. Thinking about 2 fingers wide on that. Again, it was a curve, and then I curved on the other side, so it kind of has a point, and it's about the length of my hand if you need that measurement. Okay, so from the top of my hand to the bottom of my hand, and I'm curving top and bottom and getting a point at the top and bottom. So for the top, I'm going to make 2 curved lines at the point of my rocket ship. I'm going to make a circle window. And then I'm going to make 2 curved lines and kind of flatten the bottom of my rocket ship. And out of the bottom of my rocket ship, of course, is going to be some fire. And fire is going to come out, and it's kind of skinny right here. And then I'm going to curve up and in. And I'm going to change the red direction. And that's going to be kind of the fire or the steam that comes out to shoot out of the bottom to help it move. We need to add to the side and maybe a little detail on the bottom, okay? Now from here, depending how much you love the outer space and how creative you want to get, you could add all the planets, a couple planets, stars, get as creative as you want. So I'm going to start here with a circle. And when we start with Earth, let's say, we know Earth has water and land. So I'm just going to make kind of a little shape. And I know that that will be the green land and blue water. I can make, you know, the moon. Maybe I'm really far in outer space. I'm gonna make another planet over here. Round that out a little bit better. And give this one a ring. So when I do the ring, I come to the side and go in. So let's say you want to do Saturn with its rings. You have your circle planet shape. You make a line and curve it. Go straight across and curve it. And then you copy that shape there. So I have that planet with the ring. We've been talking about stars in art. Remember, you can go up, down, across, like that to make your stars, and erase the middle. So you can have some big stars on your paper. Or you could get a white crayon and make magic stars. So for your magic stars, you could draw them like I just showed you, invisible. I'm gonna color this one in invisible white. Or if this shape is really challenging for you, you can just make little dots for your stars. You could also make a star constellation like the Little Dipper or Orion's Belt. I always encourage you to get creative and be unique in your outer space picture. Okay, so I had a lot of fun, and I don't know, I made a lot of invisible stars and dots. Now that I have my picture drawn, I'm going to take my Sharpie and outline. Outlined in the Sharpie. I'm going to use my crayons to color my astronaut and spaceship. And you can get as colorful as you would like. Of course, I had to make mine rainbow colored. And then when you're done, we'll do the Watercolor Resist. So I have my picture all colored with crayon, and now it's time for the exciting part. I'm gonna take some watercolor paint and a cup of water with a brush. And in order for this to work, I really need a good amount of water and a little bit of paint, especially because black is super strong. So my brush is wet. I'm gonna get some of that black and just put it on my paper in the sky. I'm gonna take some water and even spread that black out even more. Using the water helps the paint spread, and you can already see a couple of my stars. There was one that popped out. If yours is not showing up, use a little bit more water to spread it out. So you can see there's some stars kind of peeking out. What's happening is our crayon has a wax in it, and wax and water resist each other. That's why it's called a resist. That means that the wax is protecting the paper and not allowing the paint to absorb. So we get to see the wonderful things we drew in crayon, even though we're covering it up with paint. It's almost like a magic trick. And there you have it, boys and girls. An easy peasy watercolor resist lesson that's out of this world. I can't wait to see what you create. As always, thanks for creating art with me, and I'll see you next time.